Welcome back. It's an exclusive interview that's got the world talking. The president of Brazil, Lula da Silva, he's on a state visit to India. And ahead of his bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he sat down for a candid conversation with India today. And this was a wide-ranging interview. He praised Brazil's growing ties with India. He lauded the BRICS alliance. He said that's the true voice of the global south. And he weighed in on relations with the United States of America and with President Trump. We'll decode this interview on the broadcast that my colleague Geeta Mohan, and our panelists. But first, this report.
An exclusive that got the world buzzing. Before his bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Brazilian President Lula da Silva spoke exclusively to India today in a 52-minute, candid, direct, no-holds-barred conversation. The president hailed his country's growing ties with India, expressing tremendous respect and admiration for Prime Minister Modi.
The relationship between Brazil and India, it has to be very strong. In this trip here, I want to reinforce my relationship with India. We're bringing 300 businessmen and women from Brazil. We want to learn with India, and we want to teach what we can ever teach to India. We want to sell and buy.
The Brazilian president also strongly backed the BRICS alliance, calling it a true representative of the global south with over half of humanity within its fold.
Well, the BRICS was one of the most important things that were created in the last 3 decades. That is representing global south. So it's something new. More than half of humanity is participating at the BRICS. You're going to have a good percentage of those that participate in the BRICS, and then you can establish a new dynamics.
President Lula addressed his ties with the US, saying he does not seek confrontation and wants a constructive relationship with President Trump.
The relationship between Brazil and the US has more than 200 years of existence, diplomatic relations. And I want to continue to be a strong relationship. There's nothing forbidden issue to discuss with President Trump on trade matters. What I cannot put in discussion is my sovereignty and the democracy in Brazil. This is something that belongs to me and my people.
But the Brazilian president expressed his disapproval over Washington's capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, addressing that any resolution must be led by the Venezuelan people without foreign interference.
We cannot accept that a head of state of one country could invade another country and capture the president. This is unacceptable. There's no explanation for this.
When it comes to resolving global disputes, President Lula is a believer and backer of Mahatma Gandhi's ethos of peace.
The only thing that I know is that I don't want war. My theory is the theory of Mahatma Gandhi, that managed to win and achieve independence of this giant called India.
And a keynote for his detractors. He isn't going away anytime soon, with the Brazilian president also sharing his plans to live till the age of 120.
Every day, 5:30 in the morning, I wake up to work out 1 hour of gymnastics and 1 hour of muscle building, because I don't want to age. I want to be strong. I have a compact with God that I'll live to 120 years.
Wow. Bureau Report, India Today.
Excellent point. Stay healthy, work to live to be 120 years. Anyway, in the Indian philosophy, we say Jeevem Sharadaha Shatam. I quickly want to bring in our Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, for scooping this great interview. Also joining me is Ambassador Ashok Sajjanhar. Welcome both, Geeta. The point about critical minerals deal with India is extremely significant. And these alliances and BRICS is something that will truly be a game changer for the global south, for the developing world.
Well, absolutely. The fact that there's a deal that's been signed, Brazil is absolutely resource rich, not as exploited as many other parts of the world. He's looking to, but also look at the messaging over here from President Lula da Silva. He's headed to the United States of America, and before that, he says he's doing a deal with India. He announced that in our interview, even before the bilateral meeting was to take place. And he said that, but sovereignty is uncompromisable for Brazil and for him. And therefore, whatever is done with the critical minerals will have to be done within the country. Manufacturing will have to go into the country. That certainly means he's looking at strategic autonomy, sovereignty, and ensuring that revenue stays for the people within Brazil. So that's a very important message. And it was messaging to the domestic audience. The country goes to polls very soon,
Yes.
Gaurav.
And he says he's not going anywhere. He'll be there for a very long time. Brilliant
120.
interview. And 120. Yeah, Ambassador Sajanhar, a major focus in that conversation in this India Today special world exclusive interview was also on multilateralism. And BRICS is something that President Trump doesn't even want to hear about. BRICS is something that President Lula da Silva is very clear about. So multilateralism, BRICS, and also calling a spade a spade. The abduction of President Maduro is completely unacceptable of Venezuela.
Yes, thank you very much, Gaurav, for having me. You're very right. I think this interview was very frank, very candid. He spoke from the heart, but it was also very inspiring. I think it really sets out a roadmap for developing countries in terms of their foreign policy, taking it forward, strategic autonomy. I think the basic underlining feature of his interview, and let me congratulate both Geeta and Maria for this excellent interview. It's a very engaging piece of conversation. It sort of, never hangs, so to say. There is a very active and engaging exchange. But, one of the most fundamental features is peace, not war. He doesn't
Yes.
want war. And this is what he talks about. He says, I'm 80 years old. Trump is 80 years old. I don't want conflict with him. I want to work with him as I am, working with India, and he wants stronger relations with India. The points that you have made about BRICS, yes, very true. Brazil is one of the original members, original signatories to the BRICS, and he was there in 2009 when the first summit meeting of the BRICS took place in Yekaterinburg in Russia. And he's been participating in all of these meetings. He's also very, focused on multilateralism as far as the United Nations is concerned. And the United Nations has really not been able to deliver. It's not been
True.
able to, deal with all the challenges that confront the world, particularly in the area of peace and security. Geeta asked him that question about Russia-Ukraine conflict. She asked him the question about the Gaza conflict, how there has been genocide. And he said basically the response to that is that the United Nations Security Council has to come to reality with the terms of today. And there are countries like Brazil, India, Japan, the others, Germany,
So
that they are
clearly we
not
need
members.
UN reforms and we need them now. But what can India and Brazil realistically deliver together, Geeta? What is the main focus? Is it trade? Is it defense? Is it technology? Is it energy? Is it critical minerals? What's the key focus this time?
Well, the key focus was business, trade, looking at alternatives. I think, Gaurav, there's a real realization amongst world leaders, and Lula da Silva is not just a world leader, he's a statesman. He's been in power, he's been a part of global power politics for decades. And therefore, you're talking to a man who was absolutely alert, right there, knew exactly what he wants. And in these changing times, the key word was looking for alternatives, that the market cannot be concentrated in one region, in one hemisphere,
Yes.
and that it has to expand. Therefore, the conversation that he was having was not just to do with strategic and how important India or historical India and Brazil ties are. He'd come with more than 300 businessmen and businesswomen, a business delegation that large. He addressed a business forum. He said that he wants the numbers to scale up when it comes to trade between India and Brazil. So, market and business
Okay.
was one of the key focus areas this time around.
So that
He
big
spoke about very
interview,
specifically
that
about
big
defense.
interview, Geeta, that's coming up on the other side of a quick break. Congratulations, Geeta and Maria. Ambassador Sajjan Har, many thanks for joining me.